First of all, I just want to thank Asta, just not for this opportunity, for giving me the courage to present what I'm presenting. This is because I felt Asta is a forum which can take an alternate view on something and accept it, examine it, explore it. And that courage came from what Asta is. And therefore, I'm deeply in gratitude to Asta. From the time my paper was, they said abstract is accepted, I felt wanted, valued, loved through the communication. I want to place it here. It's very precious. You don't find it, you find it rarely in institutions. Thank you, Asta, for your spirit. I'm really deeply touched. What I'm presenting to you today is an action research since 2002, and I have never presented it to anybody until today. Only with the groups I worked with, the two women's groups and some mixed groups. And it is almost like a Ranga Pravesha, Arangetram in Tamil. That is the leadership model presentation is today. So I'm full of gratitude. Thank you all for being here. How it all started. Basically, my passion is about women's leadership. And in 1984, along with, as I was going through ISABs after my social sciences, to being all the masters and all that, and my first women's work started in Vellore in 1984 with women BD workers. Since then, there has been no looking back until today. Until today. And in my passion, as I was working in the organization development, process work, and all that, my passion for women's leadership kept going. And I met my colleague, thank you. I met my colleague and with a similar passion and fire for working with women in Alexandra Merrill, my dearest friend, colleague, and to an extent, my mentor. And we met in 90, and since then, we have hit it and we have been working together until today. And why she is important is, this is where we started the conversation. All the group development theories and models are made by men, made for groups of men, or for mixed groups. Is there a lens we can put on women's groups? Can we see how women's groups develop? Can we have a model or a framework for that? As we are seeing, they are very different. So we started discussing in her own wisdom or download. She got this intuition that, you know what, the pregnancy model is the model that the women's group actually had to be held. The women of today need a place where they are accepted fully with no conditionality, no judgment. And I think all creations go through this. Why not women's groups also? So we sit out, we discussed, and she started a 5-year program. And then I got more interested, enthusiastic. I looked at it as a daunting task. And then I spoke to my colleagues. They were all very fired up. Then I spoke to my dearest colleague, Philomena Vincent, who I have been working with since 1984. She was the director of IKEA. Many of you will know her. And she said, yes, we must do this. And we sent out invitation. 22 women came. 12 women graduated. 2002 to 2006 was the action research for this work. And 2 of them, Joy and Meru, are here. And they were part of the action research, started in 2002. This paper would not have seen the light of the day if not for these 12 women who trusted us, came year after year, and made this possible. So alongside what happened 2002, I received this book, Psychic Moon, from my guru, Mystic Yogi Sri Dattabal, who passed away in 1983 in a series of meditations. The entire book came through in 6 months. From one moon, full moon time to another full moon time, then a gap, another full moon, another 3 chapters. I won't go too much into it, that's another thing. And this corroborated that model. It said not just for humans, every creation goes through trimesters. Maybe it may be an art form, maybe an enterprise, maybe a creative space, maybe something you are creating, something you are starting. Every organism goes through trimester. So I got more enthused, and then it also gave some practices, which is in the line of what Raghu just now presented. And he has made my life easy in this presentation. So let me say 3-4 features which are very different than the other model of leadership. One is, it is completely evolved by the women through women's lens, researched on women's groups, and yet applicable to all human beings, he, she, and they. And this model is completely embedded in process work values, ethics, and beliefs and principles. Because both Philomena and I, and even Alexandra, we are all deeply embedded in the process work since 1980s. And this is the ground on which this model stands. So process work is the ground, this is the model. One of the feature of this, which is different, is that this model is applicable to any common folks. A tailor, a farmer, a CEO, a director, a pilot, a homemaker, my housemaid, anybody can understand, experience this, and practice this personal leadership in their lives. And we all say in our process work, we are always in progress, work in progress. And this particular model also places daily practices related to mind, body together, and the spirit. And it also goes into transpersonal. The universal principle, creation principle, is applicable to all creations, and therefore we are aligning ourselves to the cosmos, to the universe, and nature. First, let's say, what do we mean by leadership? This is the working description. It may keep on varying. Basically, the one that it's all about who we are and how we are, how we learn, how we keep being and becoming and being and becoming, being and becoming, and stay with consciousness. It's all about personal and not intellectual at all. There are 6 tenets of this leadership. I will go to the last 4 through this graphic. Let me go to the luminous connecting line. I would like to do this experientially with you. For this, I don't want it to be an abstract, because it can be practiced by anybody. And this is our access line to the vast wisdom of the cosmos. And it is always there for us, for the jnana that Raghu very much talked about, and to get us there. And all that you have to know, the word is fontanelle, the soft part of the head that the babies are born with and which becomes hard as we grow. And then 1 inch flesh just above the anus in the front of our body, which is called perineum. So I invite you all, just relax your body. You can be in any position, you can have pens, because this is a 24/7 line. So you don't have to prepare yourself or anything. Just take a moment, center yourself. Just observe your breath without changing. Just observe with love and respect. Just observe your breath. Imagine a line of light from the cosmos, or mother of all, great mother. And imagine that light coming to you through your fontanelle, aligning with your center of the body. It's like a shaft of light connecting you to the cosmos, from the cosmos, aligning with the center of your body to the perineum, and moving between your legs to Mother Earth, solidly grounding you. You are being held by the cosmos and the Earth Mother through this line. And it is your access line and access line for the vast wisdom you can always call upon whenever you become conscious of it. This can be a 24/7 living line of connection between our earth and our cosmos. Thank you. What do we mean? There are two touchstones, good of the whole and life force enhancing. These are very important for this model. Good of the whole just means good of all concerned. Empathy, regard, respect for all concerned. So many times in our organization or in our personal endeavors that we are fired by self-interest and don't much care for the other stakeholders, mere shareholders or the entire organization. Just my house is clean, the road can be full of garbage. These are all practical good of the whole. Life force enhancing. Me in my leadership, am I increasing the prana or am I limiting the prana of what I am dealing with? Individuals, my own self, institutions, my roles, anything that I do and offer. So this is the life force enhancing. These are two touchstones of this leadership. Any time to have awareness, am I in this, am I fired by self-interest or I'm looking at the good of the whole? Even when I'm in my whatever role I am in. Then I go to threshold consciousness. This is a intrapersonal, for want of better words, and transpersonal, you can say. This comes to us through body sensation, cues, images, somebody saying something, you think of something, this person could be a better thing for the curriculum I'm developing, and then the person calls you that same day. These cues come to us, and these are much beyond time, task, territory boundaries and interpersonal boundaries. And then usually I never open WhatsApp by Vasu until in the evening. And today I opened, and it is the darshan of the Saligram, which is only available today, a huge one, in Thiruvananthapuram. So telling me something from cosmos. These are things, the mysticism is part of everyday life. It just has to open our eyes to it, and then they are there for us, it is very important. Leadership holding and consciousness. Basically, as I said, we are basing it on the trimester model, and I'll talk about it when I come there. The trimester model is a universal creation principle. So we are aligning ourselves to that. And that holding is just uterine holding. When the uterus holds it, it doesn't do much. It just nourishes, loves, and hold it non-judgingly without pushing, forcing, all of that for the organism to grow. So this is the holding that we are talking about. And this is all in process work, ethics and values and principles. And the consciousness, as Raghu said, very difficult to define. The consciousness is a way of being. And it is about the consciousness of, am I in the right word and deed? And stepping back and seeing that Uh, am I with the tenets? Am I in this? That is the whole thing. These are the leadership practices which came to me through Psychic Moon. As Raghu said, very much mind and body is connected. The base of the triangle is body training. Anybody in leadership, this is a personal leadership. I would say my maid, who is suffering with the alcoholic husband, who is educating her daughter in a chartered accountant course, is a leader. Is in her leadership, is in her personal leadership. Not just the organizations and roles and CEOs and directors. And this leadership is therefore common to all. And this body training can be any body training. Our bodies actually take a lot from environment. We are all atoms and particles. Here, everybody is one set of atoms and particles. There are projection, interjection, everything going on, dynamics, everything. And other than that, we are suppressing emotions, feelings, unsaid words, and everything body is holding, getting into somatic, psychosomatic illnesses, all that. And if our leadership has to be in right consciousness, this body training, which could be yoga, which could be brisk walking, which could be a dance form, which could be a martial art, which could be a form full of set for a particular person, one kind doesn't fit all. So the particular person, based on the body's culture, age, and the stage, they will figure out what kind of body training that I need to do every day if I have to be in my leadership. This is a baseline. The second one is stillness practice. Somehow this book doesn't call it meditation. It calls it stillness practice. It is just about stilling the mind. Stilling the mind with the luminous line, connecting line, so that we are in alignment with the nature, and then just moving thoughts, coming back, moving, just passing just watching the thoughts pass by, and just being in the luminous line, and just stilling the mind. Could be 5 minutes, could be 10 minutes, your body will know how long. And it can even be done in Shavasana, but you have to tell yourself, I'm not going to sleep, because the body is habituated to sleep in that position. And the next one is speaking the unspeakable. This is having the courage as a practice, each day or each week or setting a time, to speak the unspeakable, I label as unspeakable. And my unspeakable will be very different from somebody's unspeakable because of biography, because of what I've grown up with, and all of that. So speaking this unspeakable is a garbage removal and purifying the body, and it just needs the courage to talk to oneself. It could be journaling, it could be art forms, it could be poems, it could be a good friend who will never judge you and hold you as a listening post, but as a practice. All these three are called triangular leadership practices. And one, to be in the right leadership, to have the right word and deed and consciousness, has to practice. So many of our women, they linger on this practice. They may not do it every day, but one or two they will be always doing. Some stillness even for 5 minutes, I couldn't do this week, but next week I'm going to dance, close my door, something like that. And then speaking the unspeakable keeps happening, at least with themselves or a trusted friend. So this is the triangular leadership practice. Let me quickly go through leadership holding. As I said, it is very uterine. Just hold. That is what a leadership actually requires. There is a species intelligence, which we will soon, I'll discuss about it in the trimester model. It's just that all you do is hold. And leadership consciousness, it's a way of being. Being in all of us are leaders. Yes, Kuram and Priyanka. Okay. And so that's the consciousness. Let me go to the trimester model. See, in the first trimester, it is called attachment. then engagement, then detachment. And it is an evolutionary principle, creation principle, which has sustained for millions and millions of years. There is no doubt it doesn't work. And whatever you take, if you are starting an enterprise, it is a 1 hour of difficult conversation in a family or a meeting or a one-day learning event or a one-year curriculum or a enterprise you are starting, startup, or starting an institution which you see as life as 20 years, 10 years, or 5 years, you just divide the time period that you envisage into 3 and overlay this model onto that. And then the kind of holding differs from each trimester to each trimester. The holding that is required is in the first trimester is the creation organism need to feel very much loved and wanted, want to belong. Otherwise, it will decide. The intelligence of the creation, even if it is tiny, it has a lot of wisdom. It will decide whether it has to stay or move away. And all you need, no fanfare, just holding, not making a big deal of it, and going tender holding. And in the second trimester of your creation, whatever you apply to, is that the leadership, the organism grows completely, full body, and psychosocial development is also taking place. It needs more resources, more information, more inputs, more love, more being seen and heard and listened to, and you may even get exhausted. This is where our power needs, our ego needs, our vigilance over our ego, our power needs, and I-ness, all of it is required. Because that is the time, because I'm so tired, exhausted, giving, I can really push or force or do something. And that is a very important, critical phase of growth. And then the third is detachment. The leadership that is required at that time is like holding very tenderly in all the exhaustion, limiting, stretched beyond limits, and yet willing to hold and let go. When the organism decides, am I really letting go? This is where we find all the founders syndrome, and Asta, I think, is a great example of how Sita has let it go, and now Meenakshi is holding, and all of you are holding, and it just moves. And the let go and hold is a very difficult process. The leadership had to, even in a very mundane, let me take I'm going over, one-day training, the first 2 phases are, you can't give very difficult inputs there, but in the center, you can give whatever you want to do and information as per your curriculum, and don't open up anything towards the detachment phase, close the loose threads and leave them whole. And let me go to the whole model. This is a whole. We live inside the Purnamadam, Purnamitam. We are part of the whole, and the whole is in us. And this leadership asks for, so there are the tenets, there is the practice, which is the foundation, and this is the model.
Thank you.